Hi, I'm Jilly Dreadful. The whole video will not be filmed like this, but my battery died. And in this video, we're going to be trying out the Haus Labs Triclone Foundation along with the Milk Makeup Future Fluid Concealer. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, or the Serenity palette by Cosmic Brushes, About Face eyeshadow sticks, About Face blush, Half Magic highlighter, then just keep on watching. Time to clip my bangs out of the way. Now you can see all of my forehead wrinkles. It's not because I'm a geriatric millennial. I've had these babies since I was 15.
Why did I pick today, of all days, to turn it this hard?
Now you know why I have bangs. Alright, so I already have all of my skincare on, sunscreen, and I also primed with the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer for like $4. You can't go wrong. It is my favorite. And I didn't put it all over, I just put it like over my chin and this area of my cheeks and over my forehead creases. Okay, so it says to shake well. I have the shade Fair Warm 15. The directions say to shake it up. You suppose that is enough shaking? Shake, 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 I'm gonna do this side with my damp sponge. I'm gonna do this side with a brush. I should zoom you in so you can be uncomfortably close. This bottle is heavy. That might be too light, huh? The Sephora Shade Matcher is trash. Okay, so a really good shade match for me is the KVD Good Apple in 04. That is basically my skin tone without the extra redness. That went on surprisingly well. It just like sunk into the skin immediately. That was quite nice. And I left some of my Werewolf Peach Fuzz just to see if, you know, it emphasized the the on the skin, because I don't have a lot of like bumps or, you know, acne. I just have like the discoloration, the hyperpigmentation from it. Alright, one more bump for my forehead. Yeah, that's probably like a shade too light. If I could build up the coverage on some of the darker redness on this part of my cheek, because the redness was still coming through. I feel like it's got a really nice glow to it, or it might be, could be my skincare underneath, because you can see this side is pretty glowy, even though I have like that Impossible Primer, which is like slightly blurring slash mattifying. Alright, so you can still see some of the discoloration on my cheek, so I'm just gonna build it up again. I actually don't mind the discoloration coming through. I just like sort of evening everything out. I'm not looking for drag queen coverage.
I will not Jodie Foster this kind of behavior.
Okay.
Alright, so I built it up a couple times on my cheek, but the discoloration is still sort of showing through. And it doesn't seem to be sinking into my forehead creases, but it is sort of the primer is sort of like a, it's a silicone like pore filming primer without it being silicone based. If you've used it, you understand what I'm talking about. Alright, let's do this side. I put it in the palm of my hand because I like that it warms it up, and I feel like it doesn't sink into like the back of my hand. It doesn't sink into the palm of my hand the way it does on the back of my hand. Wow. Yeah, that just sort of blends effortlessly. That is almost skin tint level easiness. I did use up the whole pump, so I'm going to do just a boop for my forehead. Wow, I look like a ghost, don't I? That's kind of hilarious. Does anyone else watch all the thriller movies on Lifetime or Element or whatever? They don't often have the budget for a makeup artist, so you can tell that like the actor has to, or actress has to, do their own makeup for the movie, and I'm constantly yelling at the screen, match your foundation shade to your neck. Did I do that? I can't really tell from the viewfinder. In the mirror, it looks like I am at least one shade darker, which is kind of awesome because I'm never darker than the foundation, being the color of a Victorian ghost. I think I'm one shade darker. That never happens. Okay, so with a brush, I still have the glow going. I think that's a little bit more glowier on the side of the sponge, which makes sense because it's damp and adds the moisture. But it had really good spreadability. That's what she said. I need to stop. I am a menace.
Public school, calm down.
Just a little bit cakey around here in between my eyes, but I also have this spot that's been healing, and the skin's just a little bit drier than normal. But it is looking a little bit cakey right here, but it's literally not looking cakey anywhere else. Wow, it's such a wild experience to be darker than the foundation. I don't really know what to do with myself. I think I like the coverage with a sponge better than a brush. Let's see, what does another layer look like? Ooh, it's not going so well on my nose for a second layer. I think stippling really gave me a lot of coverage over the discoloration on my cheek, but stippling on my nose with the second layer, it did not go so well. Let's see, can I zoom you in closer? Closer. Closer. Too close. Closer. Oh. Okay, so that's 2 layers. You can definitely see that there's more coverage on the brush side as opposed to the sponge, which makes sense. It's sitting really nice over my pores. I don't think it's emphasizing my pores. Not in person. We'll see what it's like when I'm editing footage. But my nose, it just looks super cakey on my nose. But my nose and my chin are like these problem areas. So I'm just gonna, regardless of the foundation I'm wearing, I'm just gonna try to smooth it out with my sponge. Although my chin looks really nice. Usually usually it has the cake problem that the middle of my eyebrows have right now. Wow, that fixed my nose. Wow, that is really cool. Okay, we're gonna do the concealer. Now, I'm looking like Coraline, maybe? She might even be darker. I'm putting on lipstick, so I at least don't have like Walking Dead lips. Haus Labs Mauve Matte. Almost got a really bright shade because I like bright lipstick, but I really loved the Stila version of these lipsticks, and I think I bought mine in 2012, and it took me, I want to say like 4 years to go through it, and it was literally my only lipstick back then. It was this really, it was like this color, it was like a nice mauve nude pink, and it felt exactly like this formula. And in 2016 I went to go repurchase that lipstick because it was the best lipstick I'd ever used. It like barely transferred and lasted all day and felt really nice. It was just nice and matte like that. It was discontinued. All of my cursed discontinued babies can sound off in the comments. Oh, since Samantha Ravendall, right? Okay, now that I'm looking a little bit less ghostly, let's try out the Milk Makeup Concealer. I'm not gonna lie, I had a whole plan for how I was going to sort of frame this video, and it was, can I achieve cyborg skin? Because I kid you not, the description for the Milk Makeup Concealer is hilarious. Hyaluronic AI plant complex. 6 plant-powered ingredients act like AI for your skin to help improve the look of your specific concerns over time. Bruh. I get to live my Cylon fantasy. And just to prove it, did anybody watch Caprica before it was canceled? No? Just me then? Alright. Milk Makeup. 3N. This might be darker than the foundation. Let's see. Alright. First of all, it's huge. 0.28 ounces, so it's like, you know, that standard almost 1/3 of an ounce that a lot of like the fancy concealers started having a couple years ago. Alright, so there's like a weird hair that came out of the doe foot. I'm not grossed out. It's probably just like a fiber from, I don't know, the doe foot, but it doesn't gross me out. It's weird, right? I'm not grossed out. It's a weird applicator. It's like a spear. Or like a missile. I don't know. Because it's not flat. Alright. Are you zoomed in enough? Closer. Alright, here we go. I don't know how much to put on. I'm like kind of afraid. I'm afraid to put too much on. We'll do one eye. So like I said, I am a geriatric millennial. So I have lines under my eyes, and I never really care about the lines, but I care about the concealer's creasing and looking super cakey under there. Wow, okay, I think it actually kind of Looks good with the foundation. In person, I feel like it's seamless, but on the viewfinder, it looks like that it might be a little mask-like. I'm not sure. We'll have to, at least in natural light and in person, it looks nice. And I don't even really need to do this. I don't know why I'm doing this. I do that with all of my concealers because I do have a problem with it looking cakey. Yeah, you see the lines. That's not like the concealer's fault. That's just me being an old. But it did cover over my spot really nicely. It doesn't look cakey at all. I am shocked. I haven't liked a concealer this much off the bat ever. Whoa, look how different. Alright, I'm not dipping back in. There's plenty of product on this. I'm just gonna bloop, bloop, bloop. Maybe a little bit, like that. The whole premise of this video was, can I achieve cyborg skin? And I was like, I wonder if we can make cyborg skin happen. Because you got like glass skin, but what about all of my sci-fi babies? All of my sci-fi nerds. The little sci-fi nerds who like to wear makeup. Wow, that looks nice. I'm impressed. I think I'm having a good skin day. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use a little bit to cover up the discoloration and see if it'll meld with the foundation, but I'm only gonna do it on this side. I am not gonna touch it on this side because I do want to see how the foundation performs on its own. But part of the reason why I'm trying this out, like, you know, as opposed to just under my eyes, is it seemed like it was blending so nicely with the Haus Labs Foundation. I wanted to see if it would actually, yeah, okay. I'm still a ghost, aren't I, though? Like, it's still not, I wonder if I need to like get shade matched in the store. Yeah, the discoloration's still coming through on this cheek. So they're both supposed to be buildable, so let's just see. I feel like that really took it down. I mean, like I said, I'm not mad about my real skin poking through. I'm not looking to necessarily have like Trixie Mattel coverage.
I love myself, but I don't like the way I am.
I was like, I can see the concealer collecting in my lines here, but I can't see it in the mirror, but I had to just like tilt my head. I think that smoothed it out pretty good. Alright, I'm going to pause and do eyebrows. Okay, I'm back. Put a little lip liner on and I contoured my cheeks a little bit and did my eyebrows. And now we're gonna try Score from About Face. The Samantha Ravindle blush brush on one side and my trusty sponge on the other. Bye bye, cute embossing. Alright. I thought with my periwinkle hair that a lilac blush would look kind of cute. Oh, okay, so that's super easy to blend. Alright, let's see how it goes with a brush. Okay. Oh, that's also nice. Okay. I used to have pin straight hair, and then my hair texture changed after either getting old, having a baby, or getting sick. I'm not sure which, but my hair's curly now. Now for my Miss Frizzle moment. To the bus!
To the bus!
I'm back. Alright, I have to, well, I don't have to. I choose to wear a mask at the bus stop. How did it hold up? I mean, I had it on the bridge of my nose. I haven't used any setting powder or setting spray yet. And it was pretty much, you know, on the bridge of my nose, but I don't see any transfer on there either. And it's not sticky. That's nice. Usually by now, my chin is a real problem. But it looks pretty good. Especially like my little indentation here under my lip. Usually looks pretty darn cakey, but it looks good so far. From this angle, it kind of looks like my face matches my neck and chest. Typing is still so loud. Well, I'm gonna press on using the Half Magic Beauty highlighter in Spiritually Complex. I may have swirled a little too much. Okay, so I could use Spiritually Complex as like a lilac blush. Good to know. So Score and this look really nice together. I like it. Alright, so this is what Spiritually Complex looks like on pale skin. Since I couldn't find anybody with pale skin wearing it, either on the website or like in YouTube land. Everyone gets like, you know, the neutral one. Update on the concealer. It is collecting in the fine lines under my eyes. It's easy to pat out, super easy. I'm gonna set my under eye and just see what that looks like. I don't usually do that because it ends up looking cakey, but well, we know what it looks like without it being set. So let's look at what it looks like being set. I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder Ultra Blur. It's the new one. I got it from Influencer for free to test. So far, I don't like it as an all-over face powder, but I haven't used it under my eyes yet. Let's do this. Wow, it usually looks instantly cakey when I put powder under my eyes with any concealer. Doesn't matter if it's like the NYX one or yeah, it doesn't matter. I have a drawer full of concealers I've been trying to test this year, and they all look terrible under my eyes. This is nice. And this powder, I don't like it for setting all over the face, but for an under eye powder, that's nice. For an under eye powder, I am set for the next 10,000 years. M Cosmetics bronzer and Slip. You're probably asking, hey, why are you putting bronzer on your forehead if you have bangs? That's a good question. I'm doing it for you. So you can see the color on pale skin. Yeah, that's why. Update on the concealer. So this is what it looks like after it's powdered, and I have lines. They're not gonna go away, but it doesn't look cakey, and it is no longer collecting in the fine lines, and that kind of creasing is the kind of creasing I don't want. The lines are the creases that are fine, but it's when it collects in the line that's gross. And yeah, it's not, I said it, and they're not, it's like, it's great. Can you see that? It's hard to tell on the viewfinder. So, editing Jilly, can you see it? Alright, what else we got? I think all we got left is like the palette, right? Ooh. I'm gonna use the About Face eye primer. This is also not a first impressions. I have used this and I really do like it. I like it a lot. And it's like half the price of the Urban Decay one. Make a wish. Pixie. That's usually the color my hair is. So pretty. I love that color. And it's blending into Make-A-Wish so nicely. Oh, that's like effortless. That's nice.
Yeah, so Cosmic Brushes is an indie brand.
Awake. This formula really reminds me of the Blend Bunny Dollhouse formula. It's really easy to work with. And even these light colors show up really nicely. I'm stuck between 4 shimmers. This is Serenity, this is Opal, this is Odyssey, and this is Ether. I think it's Ether and Opal on the inner corner. Let's try Ether without any glitter glue. Wow, that's got like a Cleona kind of reflect and sparkle to it. That's nice. And that's in the palette. Sorbet. Moss. River. Wow, that just blended itself literally. Opal. I'm using the About Face eyeshadow sticks. And I'm using In Dreams in my waterline. It's a little dark, so I'm going to do an experiment and try to put white on top of it. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, I like lightening it up with the white. Oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's kind of extra using 2 eyeliners for a waterline, but who cares? Okay, so this is the completed look. How do you like it? I like it. Oh! You know what I didn't do? I didn't put setting spray on. Let's see if setting spray messes this up. Because when I was wearing a different foundation the other day, this made my makeup just sort of separate on my face. And it was really attractive. 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you want to look like one of the wet, juicy zombies from The Return of the Living Dead, not a George A. Romero movie. It's a common misconception, but that was my favorite movie when I was 5. And now you know what a weird 5-year-old I was. I think the powders all melted together on my face nicely. I didn't need to put a setting powder on top of the Haus Labs foundation in order to get everything to blend. Although I guess the only powders I used were bronzer and a highlight. If you can hear my son talking to himself while he's cleaning his room, that's what's happening. Anyway. So I guess I don't really have that many powders to like melt on my face. I do have the Laura Mercier setting powder under my eyes though. Alright, for science, let's do setting spray. I don't think the setting spray messed this up. Nice. We're gonna do final thoughts now before my battery runs out and before really loud typing resumes upstairs. I am gonna edit this video and I am going to try to publish it on the same day. And right now, it's been like 2 hours. The foundation is holding up really nicely, and for whatever reason, foundation hasn't been liking my skin recently, even though my skin is basically clear. I don't have any active breakouts except like this one janky pimple that popped up between my eyebrows on Monday, but for whatever reason foundation isn't cutting it, so I've been doing more of the tinted moisturizer thing. But the Haus Labs is actually quite nice, and I have, just to reiterate once more with feeling, I have shade 015 Fair Warm, and I think when it's all put together, I think my neck matches my face, and I didn't bring it down this far, but at the time I was doing my makeup it felt really pale. So hopefully the swatch comparisons will be helpful to you, since I have a few pale foundations to give you a kind of reference point. Pacifica, a light foundation in 38NF. This is Aroma Beauty by Sharon C, available at Walmart, and White Pearl T2. Flower Beauty Light Illusion in L1. Clinique, Even Better Refresh, Hydrating, and Repairing Makeup, and this is in Flax. These two are the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. This is in 140 Porcelain. This is in 110 Alabaster. This is Haus Labs. This is KVD Beauty Good Apple Foundation in Light 004. This is Fenty Eavesdrop in shade 2. This was done with the neutral undertone. This is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Light Revealer Natural Skin Tint in Petal. Smashbox Halo Tinted Moisturizer, that's in Fair. And this one down here is the M Cosmetics Daydream Cushion in Cloud Dream. This is the Fair to Light shade. Personally, my best shade matches are M Cosmetics Dream Cushion or Daydream Cushion, the KVD Good Apple Foundation, mixing the Shiseidos together, which is cool because I have little tiny sizes. Alright, so let's do final thoughts before my battery runs out. I am going to try to edit this and publish it on the same day, and it's already 5:30. I've had this on for about 2.5 hours, like, so I started around 3, and you know, I've had to stop, go get my kid from the bus, and just, you know, I was talking to my husband and petting my cats. Like, I've been coming and going from filming, so it hasn't taken me 2.5 hours to film, but it is what it is. But I'm going to try to leave this on for as long as I can, and I will insert footage of what it looks like before I wash my face and give you an update on how it wore. Okay, so here is the update. It's 11:30 at night, and so I've had this on for like 8.5 hours, and well, my eye makeup still looks really good, and I think the concealer looks really good. Didn't mean to flip you off. Foundation is not doing so hot. Okay, so this is what it looks like on my chin. To be fair, it usually looks like this much earlier in the day, where it looks really dry and gross and cakey like this. It usually looks like that much earlier, so it did take a while. But it just really settled into my pores, and it's really dry and flaky. And to be fair, I mean, this is my problem area anyway. And I've been editing, so I've been like resting. I kept having to force myself to stop resting like this. And so it might look really janky because of me. So I don't know. It is really dry and flaky, even on places where I didn't touch my face though. But like, yeah, it looks better where I have the Wet n Wild primer. Ooh, but look how it's rubbed off on my nose. And collected in my like nasal labial fold. I don't know. Let's look at the forehead. Maybe that's like it was the least touched part. What does that look like? Ooh. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. So, to be fair, it was looking fine up until about 6 hours. 5 or 6 hours in. Maybe the primer I chose was not the best. Maybe it doesn't agree with it. I don't know. Everything else seems to have held up, like the highlight and the bronzer. The eyeshadow is just awesome, and that eyeshadow primer, like I said, is pretty great. About Face does a good job, but I wiped off my lipstick because it got to be gross. Can you hear the typing? Okay, so yeah, I don't know what else to say. It looks gross. Do with that information what you will and form your own opinion. I'm gonna keep trying it. I have faith that I can get this to work, maybe with a different primer. I'll see. But this is just one day, you know, and hope this helps. Okay, bye. So it'll be sort of like a double whammy. You get the first impressions and see how it applied, but then you also get to see how it performed and wore through the day. So we'll see. The Milk Future Fluid Concealer. Did it give me cyborg skin?
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Johnny Mnemonic I ain't, but I love this concealer, and I don't think I've ever said that before. And so yeah, I'd put you as close as possible to my under eye. Zoomed you in as close as possible so you can judge for yourself. And you got to see what it looked like not set and also set with powder, and I think it looks really nice either way, and it stopped the collecting in the lines when I set it. And I've never been able to set my under eye concealer before. It always looked like a desert under there. The Haus Labs Le Monster Lip Crayon, awesome. Although I have to admit, my lips do feel a little bit dry right now. And I was thinking of putting a lip oil over them because why not? For science, let's see how it performs if there's a lip oil on top. This is the Sigma lip oil. It doesn't look like it smeared. It like came off. Ooh, but you know what? It did become a little bit crummy, like crumbly. I can feel the it feels like I ate a sandwich and I didn't eat a sandwich. You know, like you got like breadcrumbs in your lip gloss. That's what it feels like. That might be my fault. I had put another coat on of the cheek products. Were really pretty, and I think that they went really well together, and I feel like I need to play with this a little bit more and try to build it up more, because I was, you know, I got a lot of pigment from the highlighter, and I would like to try to be able to build it up as much with just the blush. So I'll try that in the future, but so far I think it's actually a really nice formula, and it goes on like a cream but feels like a powder. That sounds like some sort of weird advertising tagline from the 80s. The About Face eyeshadow sticks. I have used these before and they're really great, and they looked really good on the waterline, and they that white is really good for like layering up and lightening the color underneath, and they stay as eyeshadow, so if you want to do something graphic, they don't budge. And I didn't even have to use eyeshadow primer underneath it, and it still didn't budge. Ah, but the palette, this is so pretty. Isn't it pretty? The Serenity palette by Cosmic Brushes. This might be my favorite palette that I own, I think, and I've only used it once, but it's all of my favorite colors all in one place, and that makes my heart happy. Okay, so my battery died and I had to put in one of my spare batteries in, but it's one of those off-brand batteries, and they've gotten sort of like chubby in the middle, and I'm not one to body shame, but when it comes to batteries getting fat, that kind of scares me. I don't want it to explode inside my camera, so I'm gonna try to make this fast. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps me out, and if you enjoyed your time here, feel free to subscribe. It's free, and I am coming out of my depression and I'm trying to edit a bunch of videos I just got done filming, so yeah, I hope to catch you in my next one. Alright, see ya.